Hello everyone! Hi! How are you guys doing? I see that there's already people here waiting for the tea time to start. Very glad to see you guys. Hello Melodites, hello. Shoo Shoo, hello. Merpini, hello. Ladia, live. It's nice to see you guys. So today, we have our Sunday afternoon tea time. A little bit later than usual, but it's, it's still afternoon. Hello Amaya, hello Squee, and hello Lily. Hey, nice to meet you guys. So, today we have a very special guest, everyone. We have a very special guest joining us in tea time. We have Aoife from AstraLine, the talent manager of AstraLine. Aoife, why don't you say hi?
Hi, chat. Hi, Clodo. Hi, Melodies. How's Sunday going for everyone? If you cannot tell, I am super nervous now. I don't really know what's going on because this is my first stream ever. But yeah, I'm really happy to be here and hope we can have a wonderful tea time together.
Yeah. I was honestly a little nervous as well because I heard that you told me that this is basically your first time appearing live, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think a lot of people in chat, they've never heard my voice before.
Would there be people who have heard of your voice?
Probably no one in chat at the moment. Probably not.
Yeah. Honestly, I think from my experience of being a watcher of Mary, all I really know at first about you was whenever he shouts Aoife, and then you just you just come to the rescue. You just come to the rescue.
Yeah.
So
that's what the manager does.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, this is going to be Aoife's first time appearing to everyone on the internet. So yeah, we're both kind of nervous but also excited, would you say, Aoife?
Definitely. I think I've told Clotho before I did want to start streaming at some point, maybe on Bilibili. Maybe just work with me or just play horror games together. It's not so much like I want to be a streamer, but I really want that opportunity to put myself in the talent's shoes.
Oh.
So I know how it goes on the other side. I mean, on the technical side, yes, I still need to learn say how to maneuver a model or just everything in OBS or VTS related. But on the technical part, I think it's easier for us to just find say online tutorials and stuff. And sometimes Mary do just come to me with questions that's easily Googleable, and I would just Google it and teach him. But I would say there are still aspects, say being nervous in stream and things like that, and how to come up with topics and just general stream related to being a streamer. There are things I feel I need to be on this side to know, to have a better idea what's going on. So I really appreciate this opportunity to be here today.
Oh, of course. That's honestly such a unique take for a manager to do, is just to kind of get the live experience of what it's like to be a streamer, you know? I feel like that's a very I feel like that's an excellent idea. I didn't expect that you wanted to do it out of wanting to get to improve your skills as a manager. That's really good, actually. That's really good.
Now you have one more excuse to make your manager appear in stream.
That's true. Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, I've been trying to get my own manager to appear on stream. But because he does want to keep himself a bit hidden, and kind of work really behind the scenes. He doesn't want to, but honestly, he's such a cool guy. I really hope that he does appear in one of my streams one day.
Yeah, Malala is just a reply under, or make tweets. Let's make a hashtag, Clotho Mane something.
Yeah.
And just manager, please join the stream.
Hashtag Mane-san where? I don't know, Clotho's Mane-san where?
Mane-san doko?
Mane-san doko? Yeah, yeah. But I actually want to ask Aoife. So, what kind of got you into this whole VTuber space? Like, how did you get started? Like, what was your first exposure to the whole VTuber stuff?
It's well, it timeline wise, it's not a long story, but I feel I've definitely come a long way from like a VTuber watcher, enjoyer, and at some point a clipper to
Oh.
like a AstraLineTV manager. Yeah, it is a very long story. So I would say, I definitely want to put it out there. I feel I wouldn't say I'm an expert in the field of VTubing, because technically I would say I'm relatively new to the scene. I was not really following, say, like when Kitsune I was first out there, and I was also not following like Hololive Ian girls in the very beginning, from the very beginning. I know you were like a huge fan of Hololive.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
definitely am.
I yeah, I think you probably have been watching VTubers for longer than I do.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
started watching, yeah, definitely. I started watching VTubers in early 2022.
Okay, so you're kind of like a bit more of a latecomer to the community, but look how far you've already gone into the VTuber community, right?
Yeah, I think I came in with a different mindset than just like a fan, probably.
Oh,
With a
I
little bit more
see. I see.
intention. Yeah, but that's like early 2022. Then that's right after Luxiem's debut. It was actually my cousin who shared Luxiem's debut trailer with me. And I remember I was like, so this is what young people nowadays are watching. Interesting. And I do remember the date of when Luxiem was announced because it was my birthday. That was the only reason I remember it.
Oh,
I feel
really?
like it was such like a coincidence. Yes, the announcement, not the actual debut, but the announcement of it. So I remember the date, and I feel interesting. It's something that just
It's something that
registered,
popped up during
but
your birthday, especially.
yeah, it's my birthday. But I wasn't really. I watched the debut trailer, but I wasn't really interested, at that time. But maybe because I watched that trailer on Bilibili, and that sort of triggered something in the algorithm. So one day I
Oh.
was watching, like browsing randomly on Bilibili, and I just came across a clip of Crony and the Mume from Hololive. And yes, it was a ship kind of clip.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I love this so much. I really
Yeah.
adore their interaction. I watched that clip like for so many times, and I started to like look for other clips of them.
They have such good chemistry. They're honestly so sweet together.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But yeah.
yeah, and once you start watching one clip, the algorithm just starts to recommend you everything.
Oh, definitely. I think that's just like the case with every platform. Yeah, so that happened, and then I just like watched so many of their clips and got me kind of interested in who they are, and I started researching who they are. I found their YouTube channel and then their Twitter, and I kind of like got to know more about the world of VTubers in general. But that was like mostly on the YouTube side, right? Because like most of the agency VTubers, they operate on YouTube. And at the same time, around the same time, Shoto also became popular on Bilibili. So
Oh,
you could see,
yeah.
in addition to Luxiem, you could also find a lot of Shoto clips on Bilibili. And that was because of him that I first heard of Twitch and got introduced to the whole new world of indie VTubers on Twitch.
Oh, yeah, it's a
And
whole ocean out there. It's crazy how many
yeah, it's
VTubers
very
there are.
different. Yeah, it is crazy. And it is like it was very much underrepresented on Bilibili. And just like so, in case like there are people in the chat who do not know, I am from and currently based in China. I'm in Shanghai, China. That's why like I talk about Bilibili a lot. Because like for a lot of people, I have a VPN at the moment, but for a lot of people, Bilibili is kind of like the Chinese YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have access to YouTube or Twitch. I remember at a time like a lot of people who were following Luxiem, they were already watching on YouTube. YouTube has been a thing in China for a while,
Mhm.
but at the time, not that many people knew about Twitch. So other than Shoto, you didn't really see any other VTubers on Bilibili. I mean, like
Yeah.
English speaking VTubers on Bilibili, which is definitely not the case anymore nowadays.
It's kind of like the situation with I know back then, because I did content creation for quite a while. If you wanted to reach a Japanese audience, you wouldn't go on YouTube. You'd go to like something like Nico Nico.
Nico Nico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I guess that's kind of like the case when it comes to like the Chinese audience in Bilibili, right?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. It's just because it's like it's a place that they go to, and it's like their first point of contact. And some of them would, if they want to support their Oshi, and make the extra effort, which would involve money to get to the other side of the wall. And but for most of people, they would just it's just like easier for them to stick to a site that they're familiar with.
Yeah.
So a lot of them at the time didn't even like watch the streams of the VTubers that they call their Oshi, but just like a lot of the
Clips?
but they still call them Oshi because they watch the clips.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's kind of like the life cycle of being a VTuber fan. Is you just start with like one random clip you find where you're like, oh my god, this is cute, or this is really really funny, and then eventually you might start watching their streams. And definitely there's especially if there's a language barrier, there's kind of like that barrier of entry when it comes to understanding the streams, because the clips you probably find have some sort of a translation of what they're saying, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fan subtitler, fan subgroup, things like that.
That's why I think clippers are actually like such an essential part of like a VTuber culture. Is I think that's how a lot of people manage to find their Oshis.
Yeah, definitely. I personally feel more so back in 2022 than say nowadays. I do feel it has changed a little bit now. But back in 2021-22, clip was definitely the thing that introduced a lot of new viewers to VTubers. And which was why I started clipping. I mean, it was during the pandemic, and I was like, it was like in the mid of quarantine. I didn't really have anything. I didn't really have anything to do. I mean, I had things to do, but I sort of was like bored and wanted to like look for something new to do and maybe like a new skill to pick up. So what could I do, right? And because I was watching so many VTuber clips, for one thing, I wanted to learn video editing just because I think it's definitely a useful skill. I mean, even if it's not VTuber, I can maybe I can be a YouTuber. Who knows? Like I can make videos. It's definitely useful. But I just wanted to learn something new, you know?
Yeah, I feel like so many people developed those new skills during the pandemic. And I feel like you definitely used your time during the pandemic much more productively than I did.
Oh, really? What did you do during the pandemic?
Honestly,
how many games did you clear?
Games. I played a lot of MMOs, which is a huge time sink. I was watching a lot of VTubers, and I probably should have started clipping as well, because that might have taught me like a very essential video editing skills. I did, like the tail end of the pandemic, I did start getting into content creation again, you know? Because I was like, hey, I watch all of these VTubers, why don't I become a VTuber, you know? So I had like a short stint during the tail end of the pandemic, but you know, that's kind of like a thing of the past now, that kind of history.
Yeah, deep lore. Guys, take notes.
Yeah, deep lore, you know, guys. That's
lore.
some deep lore. Okay, so speaking of which, you know, kind of like managing your time properly, I gotta wonder, becoming a talent manager for AstraLine, you must be so busy handling so many projects, you know, watching over the talents, making sure that their streams go smoothly, you know? How do you still have time to kind of like do personal things that you would like to do for yourself, you know?
I have a confession.
Yeah?
I haven't been able to really do as much personal stuff as I
Mm.
wanted to since I became the talent manager of AstraLineTV.
Oh.
Definitely. I mean, but I take it as like a learning curve.
Mhm.
Because like I came from, well, it needs to go back to a little bit to like I hold up. It's just
Mhm.
like such a long journey. I really don't know where to start.
Mhm.
Mm, so I was cleaning. AstraLineTV debuted last year, so
Mhm.
in September 2023.
Mm.
And before I became the manager of AstraLineTV, I was already the manager of Mary,
Yeah?
not officially, um, but I was already doing a lot of things in that capacity.
Mhm.
And we had worked together for a little bit over 1 year already at that point.
Okay.
Um, and we started because I started mostly helping him with Bilibili side of things and the Chinese side of things.
Mhm.
I remember, so Mary first reached out to me because one of my clips of him went sort of semi-viral on Bilibili. And so he emailed me. It's a story that he has shared in stream. So
Mhm.
he emailed me and just like, if you need anything for the clips, just let me know. If you needed any art or anything, just let me know. He was super
That's so
nice.
cool.
Yeah, and it's like and before that I was already working with another VTuber at the time.
Mhm.
So Mary was actually the first clip um that gained more traction on my Clipper account. So
Mhm.
part of the reason I started clipping was because at the time I started watching VTubers on Twitch,
Mhm.
and I became a little bit more active in some communities back then, and I made friends with some streamers. And because like we just like talk about how clips really helped streamers to gain new audience.
Yeah, to get
And
discovered, yeah.
definitely. And I felt a lot of the indie Twitch VTubers and the street VTubers from smaller agencies,
Mhm.
they deserve a little bit more love. And
Mm.
I was genuinely curious, if I can put their content on Bilibili, would it also help them to gain a um, a further reach and like more audience that way?
Mm.
That was like another reason why I started clipping. And I was not like focusing on individual, any like particular VTubers.
Mhm.
I was more doing like a VTuber, an indie VTuber recommendation type of thing.
Oh.
So yeah, I select the VTubers I wanted to share based on if they have a nice model, because I
Mhm.
mean for VTubers art is a big part of it,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
did come from like an art background, so I care about art a lot.
Yeah.
And whether they have a nice personality, because streaming as entertainer, I think it is an important quality
Mhm.
to have, and also if they have any special talent.
Mm.
Um, at the time, I would say, although Mary was the first clip that kind of went viral,
Mhm.
I didn't reach out to Mary because for me, and for my standard, he was already sort of big
Mhm.
at the time. He was too big for me at the time. I did appreciate it helped like kick like a boost the algorithm of the
Mhm.
clips, but at the same time, I feel a little bit hesitant,
Mhm.
maybe a little bit intimidated to reach out because he was big.
Oh, I feel that
Um,
for sure.
yeah. But then there was another clip that also went viral.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a much smaller Ian VTuber. Um, it really gained a lot of traction.
Mhm.
So I decided to reach out to that streamer too. And we sort of started working together, but it's more like if he was interested in kind of start streaming on Bilibili too.
Yeah.
And I through that work, like I kind of got in touch with Bilibili and start like I started talking to like a Bilibili stuff and got to know how it works for EN VTuber to stream on Bilibili. And also for that streamer, I wanted to know like how far I can help them, in addition to just making clips. So I kind of look into like a lot of things behind the scenes. Say I started organizing like a fan group, like the fan community on the Chinese side. And I was actually secretly encouraging other clippers. Like if you're interested in clipping, if you like their content, please clip them. And if you don't know how to clip, you can let me know. If you have any questions, like you just let me know. So, and that streamer was sort of, other than Shoto, became like one of the very first EN indie VTubers who became really popular on Bilibili. So that was before Mary, and I think it was because of that experience that sort of gave me the confidence that when Mary reached out to me, I mean I knew like at least how it works on Bilibili and on the Chinese side. So I reached out to Mary back when he mentioned he wanted to start streaming on Bilibili. And first you need to sort of put out a self-introduction video on Bilibili, right? That's like the standard first step if you want to start on Bilibili. And he needed like a translator for that. So obviously it's something that I can do. So that's how I reached out. And also then like one day, just like randomly, I was like asking Mary, so Mary, you've already like announced and set the date of your first Bilibili stream. Have you like submit your application for the stream? He was like, what? So as an EN VTuber, as a foreign VTuber, you cannot, it's not like a Twitch or YouTube. If you are qualified, you can just like go live anytime. As a foreign VTuber on Bilibili, you need to
register,
be in contact with, you need to register. And it's like not only like you register once, before you have like a free pass, as which Mary currently has, he can just go live anytime on Bilibili. You need to submit application for each of stream, like 2 weeks in advance, or you won't be able to start streaming. Yeah, I know. And Mary was like, no. I was like, oh
man, that sounds like a pretty complicated process to even get to start streaming on that platform.
Yeah, it is. It is. I wouldn't recommend to like you do it by yourself nowadays, because there is also like other complication.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I started like managing Mary's Bilibili, and just say like later when he had like a convention appearance in China, I also helped with that. Yeah, but before that, I had no experience with VTubers, and I wasn't doing VTuber type of talent managing.
But I guess do you have like a personal schedule that you put every day on, like, you know, organizing what time you go and work out, what time you go and work on your managerial duties? Do you have like a schedule, or do you kind of just like wing it?
I definitely have a schedule. You can. There's no way that you don't do like you do it without a schedule. I would say like I don't have a set schedule, which annoys me a little bit, because I do wish I have like a set like a daily routine. Say I get up at 6 and do this and that and start working at 8. But it is hard because of how global the VTubing scene is. Like, it's currently 7 a.m. for me on Monday morning. So like sometimes we do need to have like later meetings. And it was like even harder when Mary was in Denmark. That time difference was not really kind.
Time zones can be so brutal when it comes to scheduling.
Yeah, why Earth is round? I wish it is flat. I do wish it's flat.
One time zone across the board.
Yeah, definitely. We need that. Just like one time zone, man. So it is hard. It's not realistic for you to say I'm gonna get up at 6 in the morning if I go
Yeah.
to bed at 3 a.m. It's just not realistic, and it's not healthy anyways.
Yeah.
So I do need to be a little more flexible and kind of kind to
Mhm.
myself if I cannot stick to a schedule.
Oh.
But for yeah,
Yeah,
is there
and I
anything?
bet that you know, you have to take into account how you feel during the day as well. And also, oh my god, I can't even imagine how complicated it gets if you somehow get sick or, you know, some kind
Mm,
of emergency pops up.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is a really good point.
Mhm.
You really need to take that into consideration.
Mhm.
That was one of the mistakes I made, to not take it into consideration and be super
Mhm.
harsh on myself. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
it's fair. But I would say I do still kind of prioritize work. So the way I structure would be for work, so the thing I do as a talent manager for
Mhm.
AstraLine, say like the content planning with all 5 talents, that include their like a stream content. I help like if they need helps with their collab scheduling, I will
Mhm.
help too. And they also have like other like a video content.
Mm.
If
Yeah.
they were like, so like a video editing type of, we do have a lot of video editors that we work together,
Mhm.
and all 5 talents, they put out like shorts and of like stream highlights
Mhm.
that also need coordination. And on top of like a daily stream, there are also a lot of like special events, say like debut,
Mhm.
outfit debut, special celebration like a birthday
Mhm.
or sub-fun, or just like random things that they might come up with, say Frederick's How Diverse tournament.
Mm.
Did I have experience with esports tournament? No. Did I plan it? Yes. Was it hard? Sorta. But I'm just like glad it turned out it turned out
Yeah.
well. Like people really enjoying it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
was
bet that
doing math like 3 in the morning.
yeah, I bet
Mm,
that you did have some sort of transferable skills that help you kind of
mm,
navigate through those unknown
mm.
waters, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had another manager who sadly no longer work
Mhm.
with us due to personal condition, but we are onboarding new managers too, just so we
Oh,
can better
okay.
support our talents. So the other day I was like doing an sort of like orientation,
Mhm.
and I was like talking through all the things, and I was like, oh my god, that's a lot of information. You don't really feel you're doing a lot until you kind of need to like
Yeah,
break
until you
down a
start doing
thing,
it. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like a very like first introduction session,
Mhm.
orientation session, which lasts only for like 4 hours, and it sort of covered the basics, but
Yeah. I can definitely
yeah.
relate to that because outside of this whole VTubing stuff, I do work at a
Mhm.
hotel, right? And there are some times
Mm.
when I need to train some new employees, and I never
Mm.
really start to think about how much I actually do because I'm so set on
Mhm.
that routine. Like everything's in my
Mhm.
mind and my body just kind of does it
Mhm.
automatically, you know? And then you
Yeah,
start
yeah,
to look at the
yeah.
list and you're like, oh my god, I have to teach all of this to this new person?
Yeah.
So it must be tough
Yeah.
for you onboarding all those new managers.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So if you have that experience, you will know, like, say for work,
Mhm.
after a while, even if it's like a new project, you sort of know, like, have like a basic framework
Yeah.
to approach it every time. So like if, for example, take a debut, for example,
Mhm.
you need to like set a date and time for it,
Mhm.
and you kind of need to have like a flow of the debut itself,
Mhm.
and there's a certain list of assets that you need to commission for the debut.
Mhm.
um and there need to be like a social media promotion. So do you need like a lore video, how
Yeah.
many teasers you want to put out there, any graphics that you need, and if there's any other like in-stream like asset that you need,
Mhm.
and then if there's a merch plan for it.
Mm.
So like you sort of like have a list of things, like a
Yeah.
framework that you can refer to every time you plan a new event.
Mhm.
So after a while, you kind of just like whenever there's a new event, you just go through the same set of motions.
Mhm.
And and because it is a flow that is set, but at the same time there will be a lot of kind of flexible parts to it, because every time it will be like 10 different new assets that you need to commission and to keep track of. So another thing I would do is just whenever you have, for each of the well, you have a plan and you kind of have like smaller action steps, and I would definitely put a deadline to each of the items, just so I can put something on my calendar.
Speaking of deadlines, actually, I don't know if you know, you're not at liberty to. If you're not at liberty to answer this, feel free to not answer. But do you have to kind of do the manager thing and chase around a lot of the AstraLine talents when they're starting to get closer to their deadlines?
Were you ever chased by your manager when it's closer to deadline?
Perhaps maybe like a few questions here or there of like, hey, so yeah, the deadline for this is about to come. How's it going? How's the progress, you know?
Yeah, I would say hashtag relatable.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but who do you think out of everyone in AstraLine so far, who has been the one you had to chase the most for updates when it comes to projects?
I've chased everyone.
I guess kind of like equal to a degree.
Well, I would say equal to a certain degree, but they're also it's different. I would say it's not like not everyone is like, well, Mary apparently he just has a dog brain. So that's like the reason why I need to chase him. No, not really, because like Mary doesn't well, me with Mary, the dynamic is like a little bit more complicated. Like when I'm like his manager, I do like manage his like VTubing activities. But on the other hand, I also, when he's like the CEO and like a founder of Meriwether Media, I am sort of like his personal assistant when it comes to scheduling and stuff. Because I do need the time of his collabs and streams.
Yeah.
So somehow in the process, I also started like help scheduling and then managing his business side of the calendar. So when he has like internal, external meetings and assignments. So I need to chase him. It's less so I need to chase him, yes, I do need to chase him, but more I need to put the tasks onto his to-do list. So say like at the beginning of every day or at the beginning of every week, I will let him know these are the tasks that you need to do, and these are the meetings you have, and these are the collabs that you have, and these are the times.
Oh man, it sounds like a really hectic kind of situation for you, because not only are you the talent manager, it seems like your duties extend to even more of that. It seems like you also manage a lot of you know, kind of more business side of AstraLine too.
Yeah, I mean for AstraLine, like a merch, sponsorship, a little bit accounting, and their like convention appearance. It's like a pretty all-encompassing. If you call that business side, then probably. With Mary, it's mostly just like scheduling, because for the studio side of business, it's mostly Carlos and Cass. Cass is the studio manager, and Carlos is the art and merch director. So when it comes to comic and other stuff, it's in their capable hands. So I don't really need to worry too much. I just need to put the to-do list to the things that Mary needs to do, and then make sure he delivers on time.
So it's kind of like allocating the different duties that everyone has to do, kind of like an AstraLine, like branching out to like different roles. Okay. Kind of speaking of that, actually, I want to know something. What has your impressions been on like the different talents? You know, like kind of like what's the dynamic between you and like the different talents? You know, what do you think of them?
Yeah. I would say first and foremost, we are all friends. I definitely know and I have known Mary for the longest, and I was introduced to the rest of the talents when AstraLine was in the planning. But gradually, not everyone's like a fast with relationship, but over the year, I would definitely say we have become friends first and foremost. And friendship is always like at the core of AstraLine, because that was like one of the biggest motivations for Mary to start AstraLine. It's just so he has like a VTuber family that he belongs and can kind of like fall back to.
Oh, that's actually so wholesome.
Yeah, it is. It really is. No, it's more than you would imagine. For real, for real. Yeah. He just really needs it, and he loves that so much. He really was jealous when, like, say, other agency VTubers, they have like jammates and can collab together and have like great chemistry together. He was so jealous, and like sometimes he was even sad about it, just because he didn't have that. Really. So when he said he wanted friend group, it's not just like a rhetoric. He really meant it. That really was, I would even say that was like the biggest motivation for him to start AstraLine. Mary is a very simple person in the core. Yeah. So me with Mary, because we've known each other for longer and we talk almost every day about work, streaming, random stuff, send each other like random memes and TikTok videos.
Yeah.
So with Mary, we're good friends. I'm his manager. I'm like his second brain and calendar. And when he needs like a feedback on like a stream, or as like VTuber, I also like provide my feedback wherever I can. We're just very good friends, I would say. And he's like, I would say he's also like the little brother that I never had.
Yeah, it does sound like that kind of dynamic between you and Mary. Especially, it's really funny because whenever he runs into some kind of problem in his stream, he always calls for you first. It's like, "Where's Aoife? Where's Aoife?" You know. It's honestly so cute. I love it whenever it happens.
It is. I mean, I do adore that too. He's a very pure-hearted person, I would say. Yeah. Sometimes, like, I think he also says that in streams, like, sometimes maybe due to his like autistic brain, sometimes people might not get him. But I can vouch for him that he really has a pure heart. And he is very kind and he's very gentle.
Yeah, he definitely seems like a really sweet guy. What about the other ones like Lumi, Frederick, Nick
and Aoife?
Yeah, Nick and Aoife. Yeah. What's kind of like the dynamic between them and you?
So I would just like go like one by one, because like everyone's like I love everyone in AstraLine, and they're also just like they really are unique in their own way. Aoife, I would say Aoife is the connector and the icebreaker of the group. So when AstraLine was first put together, Aoife was the first person who really took the initiative to reach out to other people and like talk to everyone, including like when we first met. I would say I'm a social person, but I am a little bit private. I don't really reach out to people that often, but like Aoife she really broke down that interpersonal walls very easily, because she's just like very open, and she would just like message you and talk to you about a lot of stuff. Sometimes I would like be worried for her, because I feel that's like she was so open to the degree that she might put herself in a like vulnerable position, being that open. But like that's like one thing I really learned from her. I think it's a very precious quality to be able to open yourself up to people you just met, and talk to everyone.
I should really check her out more, because I feel like I kind of relate to this a lot, because I guess I kind of tried to take a similar dynamic when it comes to when I joined NEXAS. Is I tried to meet everyone and kind of see how much I can help them, and kind of like try to make them socialize with each other, which is why I kind of did this TeaTime stream in the first place. is I kind of hope that it would be a method for different Nexus members who have never met each other to kind of see if they have some sort of chemistry together, you know, and kind of talk it out. So, man, I wonder if my manager feels about me the same way you feel about Aoife.
Oh, I bet. Invite your manager to next TeaTime and ask him about impression.
Yeah.
Like, do like a rapid round of like a Q&A.
Yeah.
And like include a question of like your first impression of me and like you're like.
just a rapid fire of every single Nexus member. Well, what do you think of them? Yeah, it's honestly a little bit intimidating because a lot of because we do have a second generation coming up, and they're kind of in the middle of their onboarding process, and some of them are already kind of looking up to me as sort of a big brother figure, and it's kind of a little intimidating, but I guess it's kind of sweet in a way because, you know, I do want to make sure that I can help them as much as I can with like the kind of experience that I have. But yeah, I really should check out Aoife more, anyways, I don't want to hold you back too much on talking about the other
I definitely can see.
members.
No, I'm actually curious too, because I definitely see that like a big brother energy vibe in you. I think you'll be a really good Koto senpai.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess it's also part of me being the eldest brother in my own family. You know, is I've just kind of been my entire life sort of trying to set a good example and, you know, trying to give advice when I can to my own siblings. So I guess I just kind of developed that vibe from how I've lived.
Aww. How many members are there like in total in Nexus now?
Right now we have 27 members, which is quite a lot, which is kind of why I've accepted the fact that I probably won't be able to talk to every single one of them as much as I would want to. And I've already also accepted the fact that not all of us will probably like vibe with each other as much as there would be some sort of like friend groups that form, of course, with that many people. Yeah. And because of that many people, there would be so many different interests, so many different like beliefs, you know, in a way that like we will not get along all the time. But we're at least like very, I guess, very friendly about all of it. I would hope so, at least from my perspective, you know.
Yeah. Do you feel like you are the type of person who kind of prefers get to know other streamers through this kind of like one-on-one chat, or do you prefer like through like a big like a collab game?
Honestly, this kind of chat is really nice because I get to, I guess, collect my thoughts a lot more and try to understand them, because when I play games, I tend to focus a little bit on the game and my mind kind of goes blank from time to time, you know?
Yeah.
And
I'm asking because like oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, and then I would after the game collab, I would be like, I should have asked this or I should have asked that, you know, because I don't really think of it because my brain just completely focuses on the game.
Yeah, it happens. It definitely happens when it comes to games. And I think they both told me that they personally prefer like well, even like in the very beginning, we can do like a collab of some sort, then just like, go immediately one-on-one. Maybe that's like a little bit too fast for them.
Okay.
So that is why like I'm asking, because I'm just curious if it is the case for everyone or it's like but I think it's it definitely depends on the person.
Yeah, I can see that because for some of my gen mates especially, I wasn't really able to talk to them until we were like either playing a game or like, you know, watching something together in our server, you know? I feel like it's kind of like that icebreaker effect where it's some people aren't too comfortable going straight to just like conversation because they really don't know what to say. But if it happens while they're playing a game, something might happen in the game where they're like, oh yeah, this will lead to some sort of conversation, or even if they can't really talk about anything, they're kind of still enjoying each other's company, playing the game, and just having fun together. So I think I definitely understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, but Alfie's like the way she breaks down walls, I feel I definitely want to learn from it. It takes like I would say maybe sometimes like we're just like a little bit too self-conscious to be able to open and talk to people. It's kind of like prohibiting us from getting to know new people.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's like a factor. But yeah, anyways, like my mind is like my brain is like just like a wander.
Oh, no worries. I do appreciate those questions. Yeah.
And Lumi is Finnish. He's from Finland, and I was actually warned by Aoife that it might take a little bit for Lumi to warm up. I love Lumi so much. I love her streams. If you ever watch Lumi stream, just like listening to her voice just make you so happy.
Yeah.
She just has that like a positive like and like carefree vibe.
Yeah, she has that energy. Yeah.
Right? It's a very unique. I would say it's a very unique thing. And like sometimes like I will like just like lurking her stream and just like listening to her voice itself is just like so comfy and make me happy, and like the little noises she makes. But it is true that in the very beginning, Lumi, like compared to like Alfie, she wouldn't be the person to like that actively reach out to you. And also it's partly because Lumi has been streaming for a very long time. She's like also like one of the OGs, and she does a lot of things herself. She's very good at getting like assets both in like live 2D and also like 3D. She would like just like tinker and make a lot of assets herself. And if you go to her stream, you will constantly see something new on the screen. She will like change the assets that she uses every stream, and sometimes like our sponsors would love it, just because she would like come up with like very interesting assets for that stream.
To display the sponsors.
Yeah.
No,
So like for example,
cool.
like before. Yeah, you remember the mobile game? Is it called Nike?
Oh yeah, Nike. Yeah.
Yeah, Nike. So for that sponsorship, she got the asset of it's like a live 2D asset. It's like a toggle. It's like the body where you can see her booty, do the jiggling when it's shooting.
Yeah. Kind of like in the game.
Yeah, she was actually a little bit worried in the beginning if like she messaged the sponsor and was like, "Is this safe for the stream?" and like, the sponsor loved it. They love it so much. They're like, "I did not know there's. Oh, thank you so much for preparing such a like unique asset for the stream."
Oh, that's actually so cool.
Yeah, she really takes that like extra step, preparing like interesting stream, at least like visually and experience wise for her viewers, because like she has like the most channel redeems out of all AstraLineTV members. And she keeps like updating them. Like even like say for this subathon, she spent a long time just to update the channel redeems to make because she debuted like 2 new outfits and then like 1 new model for this subathon, so she actually had to like update all the redeems so that people can kind of like redeem like different layers of the outfit and do like new things. And she even like updated again midway into the subathon just to keep it like fresh for all the viewers. So she really takes the extra step, and she is very self-reliant in that regard, which I think might also explains why in the very beginning she doesn't really reach out, just because she is more used to doing a lot of things herself.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Yeah, but after you really get to know her and she gradually open up to you, she's very much just who she is in stream.
Yeah,
It's
just very
nice.
very positive, like got great
Yes.
energy, you know. Someone who's kind of
Yes.
very fun to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's wonderful.
yeah, Lumi's sunshine. She's so cute. Mm. I like how our like two girls are like very different, but they are both adorable in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aoife is such a nerd, but adorable too. Mm. And okay, so Nick and the Frederick. Who should I start with? Maybe Nick. Maybe Nick. Nick. Sorry. To be very honest, when I was we were in the same AstraLine group when we started planning, and I was for Nick and Frederick because they got a new model for AstraLine debut, and I was already coordinating the commission of the model and the rigging. So we were in the same server and we were in a lot of like the same group chat.
Yeah.
But I was really intimidated and procrastinated for the longest time to DM him. I was scared of him. Maybe it's because, I love horror content. I love Night Mind. It's really my thing. I know you are also a huge fan of horror and analog horror and stuff. Me too.
Yeah.
So it's not like the horror part that scared me, but it's more, I think like my first impression of Nick is by observing his interaction with, say, artists when commissioning the model. He really is a person who knows what he wants. He has a very clear vision of the things that he wants. And you can see like it also like it's reflected in the way he communicates. So he's a very direct and
like a very professional kind of guy.
Yes. So it did intimidate me a little bit. So for a very long time, I didn't dare to talk to him. I would message him if the job requires, but it's not easy to be like more like a heart to heart to have like heart. It doesn't feel right, you know. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. So you're kind of like a more compelled to talk to him in like a more business-like sort of manner.
Yeah. It's not everyone. I think it is true that like not everyone you are not ready to just be like open-hearted with everyone.
Oh, for sure.
Right away,
for sure. Yeah. Because I remember even like talking to you, I was trying to approach it very business-like at first, you know, trying to talk as professionally as I can, and I'm like, when can I start like being a bit more like, you know, loose and friendly when it comes to talking to Aoife, I wonder. So I understand. I understand the feeling. It's so relatable.
Yeah, I mean, even with Mary, I remember when he first sent the email, it was really sweet, but at the same time, like, because I used to be a salesperson, and like something in that email just like triggered the salesperson in me. I was like, let's just quit the sales, like talk. Nah. But it was just like a very business approach, you know. But yeah, with Nick, I was, I think it's also probably because his online personality is more mystic.
Oh yeah.
He is so Night Mind and Nick Nocturne. You can even find like a wiki page about his lore. So something about that sort of like put a distance between me. Sorry.
I just
YouTube chat.
I just refreshed YouTube chat. Thanks for telling me live. I have refreshed YouTube chat. It should be going brrr in a second. But Nick definitely has like that sort of mystic feel to him. And one thing I actually wanted to say was that I was in so much shock when I discovered that you know, Nick and Frederick got both picked up by AstraLine. Because especially with Frederick, I thought that Frederick just kind of stopped uploading on YouTube. In Down the Rabbit Hole.
Oh no!
Because I was a big fan of Down the Rabbit Hole and Night Mind. I always have them on my playlist whenever I go on like, you know, long travels or when I drive. I love listening to them. And then one day, Frederick just kind of stopped uploading on his Down the Rabbit Hole channel. And then one of my friends told me, "Oh, really? You didn't know? He's in AstraLine. He's in Merriweather's company." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, but Frederick has actually been streaming on Twitch for a long time, even before AstraLine.
Oh, really?
Longer than Nick. Yeah. He was already streaming.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, even clipped his collab with Mary back then when I was still clipping. Yeah,
Oh,
it
wow,
is
that
actually
long.
interesting that I clipped a Frederick and Mary's interaction, and also part of the reason why I still decided to include Mary in my on my clip channel was because after I watched Mary and the next collab. So they also did a collab back then, and I was so intrigued by by ARG and the thing that they talked about, and also then the fact that Mary is a writer, which I counted as a special talent for VTuber, because I was really interested in seeing. I sort of see VTubing as a creative and expressive tool, than a pure anime kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So I was really interested to see all sorts of new possibilities that this creative tool can provide for content creators. But yeah, that's it. That was Nick. But Nick, after you got to know him, I would say he really sort of reversed my impression of him.
Really?
I don't want to break the immersion for anyone, but the reason why I say it reverse is because for one thing, for me now, he's no longer that intimidating well, I never see him as a monster dad. It feels so wrong for me to call Nick daddy. It just for some reason it just feels
I mean, a lot of his fans do kind of connect that sort of trait to him, so I think it's pretty normal to
but I would say my biggest impression of Nick now is he is a very grounded person. He's no longer a mystic and kind of floating somewhere up there for me. He is very grounded. He takes Nightmind very seriously. He takes his work very seriously. He has a very methodic approach to Nightmind, and he worked really hard. He worked hard on Nightmind, and he's also very serious about his fitness training.
Yeah, I've been seeing his updates when it comes to when it comes to his fitness. Yeah, yeah, mostly when they get reposted by you, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
he's doing really well.
I would say in that regard, I would say it sort of reversed my impression. At least now I'm no longer scared of Nick. Yay! Yeah, he is just I really admire his work
ethic.
His work ethic, yes.
I really feel like for him to build Nightmind like that, because I've been following his channel ever since he was doing the Marble Hornet stuff, and just the amount of work he puts into that channel was unbelievable. So I guess I would say it's kind of inspiring seeing that he's doing all of this VTuber stuff while still uploading to his Nightmind channel. It feels like he's really just in it for the grind, you know? He just has that grind mindset.
I would say Nightmind will always be his main thing. And I definitely want to help him, because for me, when I started working with Nick, I feel it's not so we're turning Nick into a VTuber. VTuber is just a form of streaming. So my goal is to support and help him to better incorporate streaming as part of his Nightmind channel. Because it's I think it's it's an extension of Nightmind.
Yeah.
That would be the goal. Than just being a VTuber. I also wanted. I hoped like VTuber was like a new creative tool. So because of like all the art, and just like everything, all the like technology, I hope it can kind of like enable Nick, when it comes to content creation, like in a like more interactive way. Like I don't really know like the specific, but I just like have like that general idea. That's like the direction that I wanted to support him.
So kind of like basically giving him an avenue to go from creating Night Mind to maybe like doing it in like a more interactive way with his fans is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's like a supplement.
Yeah, it's like a supplementary thing because Night Mind will be his baby. So yeah, so
Definitely.
like since it's his main project, it's kind of like some sort of like exclusive thing, it's like, oh hey, you get to interact with me, and it also builds like I think it also builds a bit more of that like personality as well.
I think a lot of people would be interested and curious to know what Nick is like. Like outside of just like that,
videos,
like a pre-scripted videos. Yeah, that is Nick. Hardworking, grounded, and very true to himself. And overall, a very inspiring person.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And Frederick. So it is interesting. Like it's an interesting contrast. Well, Nick would actually say he and Frederick share a lot of things in common. They're like the two sides of the same coin, I would agree. But it's interesting to like, one thing interesting to note is like when they were like working on their AstraLine models, Nick knew what he wants. He would give very clear feedback and like image references to the artist. For what he wants for the model. And Frederick is sort of the opposite. Frederick has like a general idea. He has a very poetic mind, I would say. So he would say like he would the way he described what he wants is just like it's like everywhere. You sort of see it as when he talks about it. But commission model is like a different thing. Most of artists would prefer you to be like more
specific. Yeah.
While like a Frederick is more like I'll leave that to you.
So he just kind of gives you like a general idea of the vibe he wants with the art piece or something.
Yeah. And Frederick is such like Frederick is such a nice and soft boy. Like I'm not sure if he would let me say this, but
something exclusive from Eva.
Yeah, Frederick sometimes if Frederick feel the art is a little bit off, his instinct in the group chat with artists is just compliment the artist to the extreme and not say a thing. And then maybe one day later, he would message you in DM and like, Aoife, what do you think about this? Are you really sure about that?
Oh my god!
He's like so
I do that
sweet.
Too!
Oh my god, don't do it!
Yeah, I feel like I should really stop doing it because like sometimes when I ask people for help, like mostly like when it comes to maybe music or something, they would help me out and they would submit kind of like their lines for their singing, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is fantastic, you're doing such a good job, but can you like maybe this, like I need to be a lot more direct when it comes to that kind of stuff,
Yeah, I mean like I absolutely adore Frederick. He's so precious, he's such a precious boy. But like I would still say for commission and stuff, it's better that if you have feedback and especially if you eventually need to let the artists know, just let them know.
Yeah, just
From
let
the
them
very
know what to
beginning,
do.
and then change it like halfway into it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's really funny because whenever I do my own whenever I ask other people for feedback, I always ask them to be very direct with me and not hold back when it comes to like, oh, you're doing this wrong, or I want you to change this in order to make it sound or look better. And then whenever I give my own feedback, I'm kind of, I guess, a bit hypocritical in that way because I just go like, yeah, this is great, but this one tiny thing, I should just be as direct as I want other people to be with me,
Yeah, I won't say it's hypocritic. It's more so that we just have that human side in us to be non-confrontational.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so relatable.
Yeah, it totally is. But yeah, Frederick, despite the soft side, I would say when it comes to Down the Rabbit Hole, he is very much like Nick. He has his own like a process, and when it comes to Down the Rabbit Hole, he has it like its flow down. He doesn't really talk about Down the Rabbit Hole all that much. I think it's just like because even if he is stressed, Frederick really holds the stress in. And he doesn't really. It's something I feel he needs to work on. Okay. Because if you have a friend group, it's really good for you to let that stress out. If you talk about it, it's easier to be solved that way. And if you just like hold the stress in, it kind of like sometimes accumulates and turn into something more than it is. But yeah, like Frederick, he has been a content creator for a very long time, and he's Down the Rabbit Hole is such a. It is like it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
that
it is.
Once you click on the video, you just cannot escape.
Yeah.
And he knows so many things. It's just like it's marvelous.
Yeah, I was gonna say
his brain.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was amazed because I thought that like Down the Rabbit Hole is definitely like a lot more scripted and researched, but like I caught him in some of Mary's streams and I started watching some of his streams myself, and he really is like some kind of walking encyclopedia. Like he just has some kind of random fact that he talks about, and I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. He just has so much information.
Do you know Spaghetti Bob?
What's Spaghetti Bob?
Okay, so that is a thing unique to Frederick's channel, and that's like how people describe his channel. It's just like if you walk into his stream like one day, and Frederick will be talking about like a Spaghetti Bob, and then you were like, yeah, but what is Spaghetti Bob? Like I've never heard of it. And then Frederick would just like started talking about it and show you like all the like old YouTube videos about it and how it's like a thing and the history of it, and it just like drag you down the whole rabbit hole.
Oh my god!
And that is Spaghetti Bob.
Oh man, now I feel like I need to ask him about Spaghetti Bob next time I'm on his stream. I kind of want to hear him talk about it because I feel like he just has like that really mesmerizing voice that like even though he talks about like he could talk about the most boring stuff or even the most disturbing stuff to me, and I would listen to it completely interested. I'll be like, oh yeah, that is how you do your taxes, Frederick,
Yeah. Definitely, I feel the same. I remember, like, I think, like, my first impression of Frederick's channel is, I started watching history, and I have no idea, like, about, like, 80% of things that he was talking about, but I really felt my fault. Why am I so stupid and ignorant that I did not know those things?
Yeah.
These are so cool. I really need to know about it. I'm gonna watch a stream, take notes, and Google it, and just like research about it. That was like my first impression of French.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of random trivia about like internet stuff and even some stuff from history I got from like watching Down the Rabbit Hole, getting interested in what he's talking about, and then just like researching a lot of extra stuff about it, going like, oh yeah, you know?
Yeah, but then like afterwards you were like, what did I just research?
Yeah.
What is that? to do for my life?
Yeah, now you have this random piece
Well,
of knowledge that you don't even
yeah.
know if it's gonna be useful, but hey, it's interesting knowledge.
Yeah, but it's cool that he like kind of like made a thing out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the random peculiarities
Mm-hmm.
of the internet.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's so cool.
yeah. Yeah. But I would
Yeah.
say like then it doesn't mean that his job, his work really relies on the support of his audience.
Mhm.
Because they and like his patrons because they support him to kind of research and spend
Yeah.
time on the things that might not have like an immediate utility for a lot of people. But he
Mhm.
also put in a lot of the hard work. So it is I would
Mhm.
say it's like the old going back to the old days when artists kind of work with like patrons
Mm.
for like to create really like great masterpieces.
Yeah.
I sort of see Frederick as that type of like a little bit like a Renaissance artist
Yeah.
type of situation.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does have that kind of vibe to him. Also, good night,
Mm.
Chocolat. I hope you have a good night. Sleep well.
Nana
Sweet
Chocolat, thank you
dreams.
so much for being here. It's really late. I think it's really late for Chocolat and the
Yeah.
Shushu. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, what do you call it? Okay, so this has been a question that I keep on getting a lot, and I have
Mhm.
no idea how to answer it. And I feel like as a talent manager, you will have a very, unique perspective on this.
Mhm.
Because I know that a lot of agencies, whenever they get auditions, they would get like hundreds, maybe thousands of auditions, and they have to
Mhm.
sort through all of those. And I bet it gets really, really exhausting. But what exactly do talent managers look for when it comes to like filing through all of those auditions?
It's I might not. Maybe your manager will be in a better position than I to answer this question, because unlike we do receive in our emails like a lot of like applications,
Mm,
but actually I never technically open up audition
mm,
because this first generation are all handpicked by Mary,
mm.
and everyone has already been a friend with Mary for a
Oh,
very, very
okay.
long time. I would say Nick and Frederick, they definitely knew Mary for way longer than I did.
Mhm,
Um, so in that aspect, we never had that like the process of going through like applications and like opening up auditions.
mm.
Um, but So how should I best approach this question actually? Well, I would say like for other people who are like auditioning for other agencies,
Mhm.
uh, I bet their application form
Mhm.
has information on what they're looking for. Say
Ah,
like the special type of because they also want you to like submit like streams and things like that.
yeah.
So there will be like a clues of the kind of things that they're looking for in the streamers that they want.
Mhm.
And for any particular agency, you can also just like refer to your senpais there and
Mhm.
see the type of like talents and uh, and the vibe and personality that agency is looking for.
Mhm.
Um, but like my personal observation of other agency, and it's like just like it's like my pure guesswork.
Yeah.
I feel especially like nowadays compared to say in the very beginning, just because there are more and more people with streaming experience.
Mhm.
I would say it's definitely it's more of a it's more of a competition nowadays when
Oh,
it
for
comes to
sure.
agency audition. And I think it is necessary nowadays to have streaming experience
Mhm.
prior to joining an agency.
Yeah,
Um,
that is something that I hear from a lot of people who seem to,
mhm,
already want to get on board with an agency without like any experience, is that they always see that part of the form, because I have auditioned for other agencies as well, and they always
mhm,
have a part of the form where it says, kind of like link us to some of your past streaming experience or
mm,
content creation
mhm,
experience. And yeah, I feel like it is kind of like I guess a better idea to start off kind of like getting your own experience, you know,
Yeah.
before joining an agency. I mean, like Nexus's vision is kind of like trying to give people that kind of know-how, so that's kind of why I got interested in joining it at first, you know, for sure, because I was like, hey, it would be nice to kind of know how to become a better streamer, you know. So yeah, I feel like experience, you're right, experience is very, very important when it comes to you know, joining those kinds of agencies, because it's kind of like any kind of job, right? Like why would they get someone who I guess would be like a bit more risky other than this other person who already has a lot of the know-how and doesn't need to be trained in all of these things, you know? So I guess that's kind of similar.
Yeah. So Masha say that they didn't know like people apply to auditions without any streaming experience. I do think before, like even like it's like said in the application of like some agency, they will say, oh no, you don't really need any like a prior streaming experience. You don't even need to have a PC, as long as you have that like streamer in you. I think it was a case in the beginning, but say like you mentioned, like for Nick and Frederick, they were YouTubers before, and Frederick started streaming on Twitch earlier than Nick did. But if it's just like some YouTubers who made exclusively like say pre-scripted and like on-demand type of video on YouTube, when they first start streaming, it could still be a challenge for them, because live streaming is very different from pre-scripted content.
Yeah.
It does require a special set of skills and how you like comment your
how you like interact with chat, you know? Yeah, even kind of like the anxiety of knowing that there are people watching you live at that very moment, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely it's hard to not pay attention to that, just like to be real. That I don't look at numbers at all. No. It's very hard.
Yeah.
And like say if we're doing like an interview, how you still like keep track of the chats. It's like all skills. So even if you have like say like content creation experience, streaming experience is something like it's like a different type of experience, and especially nowadays, if you want to apply to any agency, I would say it's kind of like a prerequisite.
And some of the agencies still tell you, you know, they still tell you, oh, you don't really need any experience, but like I assure you that they still look at your experience, because they are more likely, again, they are more likely to just hire someone who's already got the know-how and needs the least amount of training, pretty much, you know?
And unless you have some really, really unique talent, which is definitely another thing I observed, is nowadays like unique talent, not unique, like strong talents, like some specialty of yours. And the most popular ones would be like say singing, art, and the more like the traditional idol route. And but like more like nowadays, like even say like a Cecilia, that's just like mad, it's just like crazily talented. And they're like talented in so many ways.
She played violin live
motion
on her
animation. And she also does like a video, like a motion animation. It's like that's a lot of skills that she had. So I would say there is this like a trend almost for agencies to pick talents that literally is talent.
Because I feel like it really makes sense as well, because there's so many VTubers out there, and even more that are appearing every single time, that if management or an agency finds something that they've never seen before, they're more likely to take a risk despite the lack of experience to kind of like get and nurture that talent, because it's like, oh my god, this has never been done before in VTubing, you know? Because it's so rare, because of how like the volume of VTubers out there, like a lot of stuff has already been done. It's just, I guess, about like either you find something special or you're just really, really good at something that people already enjoy, you know?
Yeah. And the scary part nowadays is you just have people who both have that talent and the experience of streaming.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, out of so many applications, the agency will pick those, right? Because that really stands out.
Yeah.
It's if we put ourselves in, well, I am a manager, but if we put ourselves in, say, like a HoloLive or Nijisanji, like a talent manager of like a management's like shoes, it's just like it's very normal for them to pick that type of talents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of I really respect the people who are in those who make it to those big agencies, because I feel like I've heard a lot more than once people saying that, they're only getting this success because, you know, they're part of they managed to be part of HoloLive, or they managed to be part of like another big agency out there. But it takes work to be picked from, like, I would say they get like hundreds of thousands of auditions every single time they open them. Like, it takes a lot of hard work and talent to actually be picked among everyone, you know? So I feel like there definitely needs to be like some sort of respect given to people who get picked that way as well.
Definitely. And the work doesn't really end there. That was like just like the beginning of everything. Getting to work with VTubers, I would say I definitely have, compared to when I was just a viewer, I have a higher level of respect for all VTubers, whoever is streaming consistently. I respect you guys a lot, because that is a lot of work. And say like for those who got into like a bigger agencies, that's even more work. Yeah, HoloLive, they just debuted, and there was a lot of work that went into debut. But then the work just started.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same with AstraLine when we first debuted. The debut itself, it was crazy, the amount of work that put into it. And I remember like on the back end, on the day of the debut, we were doing the debut marathon, which was not a good idea, as Mary has explained. Just to have everyone do like half an hour. But yeah, it was so much work that put into debut itself. But then it was only the beginning. You need to immediately start, like jump into like a regular streaming schedule and put out the content. And that is a lot of work. And not to say like for those in like a HoloLive, that there is a lot of like extra pressure on them to perform, to keep active on social media, be funny, be the best version of yourself in every stream. And there will be comparison, and there will be hate. It's just like a lot of things to deal with.
And that's kind of what I've been telling some of the people who kind of like tell me that, where it's like, oh, you know, you debut to like hundreds of thousands of subscribers already at this point. Like, you're basically guaranteed success. No, you're not, because if you could easily lose those hundreds of thousands of subscribers if you don't keep up the work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, as easily as you gain it, you could easily lose it. That's kind of like the really scary part, I guess, of what really scares me about I guess this whole VTubing content creation kind of you know, career path, is that it's very wild, and it's very unpredictable. Like, one day you could like slip up and do something that will completely just like destroy everything that you've worked for, you know? It's kind of a very scary prospect to me.
Yeah, it
Mm.
is. It is a very hard career, I would say,
Mm.
and it's a very expensive career.
Yeah,
It
for
really is
sure.
one of the career that requires like the most, well, maybe not the most, but really
Mhm.
a lot of investment up front and
Yeah,
continuously, just to
yeah.
stay relevant.
That's why I'm kind of confused when when I hear people
Yeah.
who think that they can get into VTubing and instantly like make big profits very very early on. It's like I feel like if you do get into VTubing, especially as an indie or something, like I bet
Mhm.
especially as an indie, you shouldn't expect to turn out any kind of profit like
Yeah.
for a while, for a very long time,
Yeah.
or unless you like somehow blow
Yeah.
up and go viral somehow, it's I don't know.
Definitely.
I feel like it's like a big misconception that a lot of people get when it comes to like, oh yeah, I want to be a VTuber, like the people who want to do VTubing for the sake of profit. I feel is a very very risky venture,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It really is. I don't think I don't think I have an answer to that question because
Yeah,
VTubing is really expensive.
yeah.
And I would say because it's first and foremost a very visual type
Hmm.
of presentation. Your model and your assets and your overall aesthetic does
Hmm.
matter because that's like what attract people. Well, I would say like a model and your voice are two things that immediately attract people.
Yeah, it's a first
Um,
impression.
yeah,
Mm.
as superficial as it sounds, it is the case.
Mhm.
And then just like if you want to look good in IRL, you kind of need to polish your model.
Mhm.
You need to get new outfits,
Mhm.
just to keep things exciting. Like say with Lumi, just
Yeah.
to experiment with all the free or pay to use assets, just to keep things interesting for the viewers.
Yeah.
It is part of sort of is part of your job to keep
Yeah,
things
to
exciting.
keep things interesting. Especially
Yeah.
especially with the kind of cuz one thing that I guess noticed and learned is that now a lot of more short form content seems to be like the way to go if you really want to grow, because
Hmm.
I feel like I don't know if I'll get like if I'll get in trouble for like basically saying that a lot of people's attention spans aren't as
I
uh
mean, it is just a
yeah.
scientific fact out there at this point, so I
Mhm.
think you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I really feel like people kind of judge you within the first few seconds of when they see you and when they hear you. So
Hmm.
yeah, you are right in that the visuals of your model, the sound of your voice, it is really important in
Hmm.
catching their attention. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blame
So
TikTok. Yeah.
Zoomers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I mean the Subway
Well,
Surfers stereotype is kind of like it is there for a reason.
yeah. It is funny. I was like sharing with my friend. Well, I'm very much a boomer, and I
Mhm.
was like, my friend was kind of like mid-career and is sort of having like a mid-career burnout stuff. They
Yeah.
have like a really proper job,
Mhm.
and they're like very well paid. Just like they're like on like the standard
Mhm.
path of their life, but they still like it's always like an interesting perspective for me
Mhm.
because I'm like a pretty much just like vibing with my life overall. But he is like my friend is like the example of like the type of person who just like follows like the quote
Mhm.
unquote right path each step along the way.
Mhm.
But still, like I feel like we both complain about things,
Mhm.
and like underneath our complaint, I do think there are like things in common, and he is definitely like, not like in a much better place than I do. I feel at least like mentally,
Uh-huh.
but like I was like trying to introduce like a skippy toilet to him, and he was like, "What is this like what young people nowadays watching?" I was like,
Oh my god.
"Yeah."
I relate to that so
Yeah,
much.
me.
Yeah, because for the longest time, I guess especially during the pandemic, I kind of just kept to my I just kept watching basically just content that I liked over and over and over. Like, I don't know, like I'm not just saying this because, you know, talent manager of AstraLine is here, but like those the videos that I have in my playlist, a lot of them being like, you know, Down the Rabbit Hole and Night Mind. I've probably watched so many times already to the point that I can probably recite what happens at what time. But like that was kind of like what I did back then. So when I started to, well, make friends again on the internet, and then they start introducing me to these memes, it felt like I was in another planet, you know? I was like, wait, these are the memes today? What happened to the memes of old, you know? It's like, now there's like Skibbity Toilet, there's that whole like, oh, Gyat Riz kind of thing, and I'm like, wait, how is this funny nowadays? And it's like,
it's just, but if you don't know about it, you kind of feel like you're like left out, you're missing something type of fear. Oh my god.
Yeah. But I guess eventually I kind of started to understand the humor of today. Because really, it's a lot of you know when Mary said that like random noises can really make him laugh, and he kind of like he kind of like hates that fact that you could go like oogly boogly boogly in front of him, and you'll probably like get a chuckle in front of from him. That's kind of the effect, you know. I feel like that's the humor of today's memes, is just, oh, it sounds funny, it rolls off the tongue really well, it's fun to repeat.
But you know, like it actually like just like circling back to like trying to, like you mentioned how this career can be kind of almost like there's a lot of uncertainty to it, and also like streaming. I would say like streaming itself, it's like your daily interaction with your viewers, and then maybe you have your Discord where you keep in contact with the viewers and the things that you post on Twitter. But if one day you no longer stream for a while, you take a break, you kind of have this fear that you just like you're no longer relevant in a scene. It is a very real fear. For that, I think like maybe TikTok is the way out, but like not necessarily TikTok, but just like any sort of like kind of go back to YouTube, any sort of content that can last longer. Even say like your cover songs. I would recommend having content like that to be out there. That's still like that's very much who you are and things that you're passionate about.
So kind of like things your audience can go back to kind of like kind of remind them of what made them subscribe to you or follow you in the first place.
Yeah, I would say like a two-folded. That is like one of the reasons. It's just I think this like is like one of the reasons why Mary really was like a big advocate for dual streaming on YouTube, is to keep the VOD there so that people can refer back to the VODs. Kind of like keep the memory, because Twitch doesn't really have a good mechanism of VOD keeping. So a lot of the memories were lost in the way. That's definitely like one reason of it. And because you also said like how VTubing is like expensive, and whoever just started VTubing and hoping they can like turn a profit right away, it's not realistic. Just like in that regard, putting out like video content, say like on YouTube or TikTok, is also kind of like another stream of income, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
For that reason, I would also, this is like a manager talk, like viewers, close your ears, you're not hearing this. But yeah, it's just realistic speaking, because you do want to, for you to keep streaming as a VTuber, you do need to make it financially viable for you.
Yeah.
So I think it is also important to kind of explore other sources of like revenue, just to support your creative journey.
Yeah, especially if you want to start doing it full time as well.
Definitely.
Which I hopefully will achieve someday, but you know, I know that is probably still like far off into the distance.
I'm actually interested. Like, so how do you manage your time? So when do you usually stream at night, or how does it work for you, Coco?
So what I try to do is, since I do have you know, my job, I work a graveyard shift. I try to do my stream in a way that after my stream I can basically just barely have enough time to do all the post-stream stuff, like, you know, post a thank you for my viewers, make sure that the VOD is okay, plan what's going on next, and just get ready for my work at night. And then when there's downtime during work at night, I kind of use that time to do my I guess you could call it networking, which is basically just me like scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through Discord to see what's going on, and kind of like seeing if I can you know, if I can connect to other VTubers out there. And I basically try to do that as my downtime. And whenever I take my breaks at work, I don't even use it to eat. I just use it to kind of like get as much sleep as I can.
Oh no.
Yeah, that way as soon as I get home, you know, I can do a bit of my exercise to basically keep myself healthy. And then I just take like a short nap in the morning, and basically whatever free time I have, I try to put towards making content if I can, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and right now it is really rough because you know, I feel like I basically have no time to start creating content because, again, coming back to all the way in the beginning of what we were talking about, of taking into account how tired you really are after you do your daily routine. Sometimes I go, okay, today's the day. We are going to be so productive today, and then I just end up sleeping for most of the day until I need to stream. Just because I'm so tired, you know?
Yeah.
But honestly,
I've definitely heard that from our talents too, like how tired they are. So it's not you. It's just, trust me, it's not you problem. Streaming really takes the lot out of a person, and like all the because like you're also doing like, say, like make sure the VOD is okay, like everything, all the technicalities. It's very like it's time and like mentally consuming.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of work that went into it, which is why I said I really have like a mad respect for everyone who is streaming consistently. It is a lot of work behind the scenes.
And I really feel like I try to do my streams all at a very specific time, which is kind of why I appreciate that you chose this time for the tea time, even though it's a bit later than what I usually do. It's basically the same time I start my stream every single time I do during the week, and it kind of helps me get into this routine, you know? Like my body basically goes, okay, now's the time. It's time to stream. And you kind of start to get into the zone a lot easier if you do it more consistently at like a certain time, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely, which is well, as a manager, there was a reason why I chose that time. I think no, for real. I think it is because it is important for you to keep that like consistent streaming schedule, especially when you already. I did refer to your usual streaming time and your stream schedule, because I think it's also like for your viewers. I don't want to pick a time that's like so radically different from your usual stream time, so that like just like to make sure no one will be able to catch the stream.
You took into account my schedule as well.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Definitely. Of course, I took that into consideration.
That's really sweet of
But
you,
also needed to
Aoife.
pick. Well, no, I don't know. I mean,
Mhm.
I think it's of course. It's more like of course for me
Mhm.
to pick a time that works for you and your audience, because
Mhm.
it is your stream. And I already really appreciate that, like you invite me over.
Mhm.
I feel really flattered when you reach out.
Oh, really?
I would say this is like the least I can do. Yeah.
I mean, I really did just get interested because I feel like we don't really get to hear a lot of the perspective of I guess the staff side of things when it comes to agencies and VTubing, because unless you're a staff member that actively interacts with the fan base, kind of like, you know, how HoloLive has Achan and Odoka, and Phase Connect has Sakana that interacts with his talents often and appears on their streams. I really feel like we don't really get to hear enough from staff, and from what I basically experienced from Mary's streams, it did feel like I really wanted to see your perspective and kind of get to know you, because you really did seem like a very fascinating person. Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks to Mary who is in chat, just like keep shouting me out for all kinds of weird reasons.
Oh, hey, Mary. Yeah.
Don't believe what I'm telling you, Clotho. Yeah, Mary is.
Yeah, because it did all come from from how often he just like starts saying Aoife, Aoife, and I kind of guess I thought it was like basically a meme in his streams, how he just shouts Aoife, you know, and I'm like, wait, who is this legendary Aoife that I keep hearing Mary shout in his streams? And I just started to get curious, and I'm like, I want to get to know Aoife better, because I feel like
it's funny, like
yeah.
Aoife and Aoife, the two names are so similar.
Oh yeah.
When we first got to know each other, even in my brain, and then still to this day, sometimes say with Kawa, when we have meeting with Kawa, they would not only speak but also like type the name. They always be like Aoife. I think like Aoife is like a more intuitive name to say. While like Aoife, it's like, why does this name is pronounced this way? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. I don't really know why I picked this name, but it is what it is. And just like, and also Jelly, stop listening to Aoife. I eat more than chips. I don't only eat chips. Just the rumors they spread. I cannot believe it. Just like everyone in Aoife's chat, their impression of me at this point is just
that you eat
Aoife
chips?
is the middle-aged woman who has like a diet, who is a fujo, and who has a diet that's like a college dropout. Who only eats chips and drinks Monster.
I mean, I can definitely see the fujo part though.
Yeah, that part is out there. No, everything else is a lie. Don't believe her. Can't believe she's like saying this in stream all the time. I was when I was in Aoife's chat, I'd be like, Aoife, eat broccolis, okay? Eat broccolis.
Yeah, I mean, chips are kind of I guess I would call it like streamer food, you know, like just small snacks like that, something that's easy to access and like, you know, kind of stored neatly in a bag that you can close and reopen at a certain time. So I understand being, eating chips a lot if you, especially if you work in front of a computer.
Monster energy drinks.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
right?
Energy drinks, of course. That's gamer fuel right there. Streamer fuel, you know.
Yeah.
Oh
man, the rumors. Yeah.
So
but yeah, like oh sorry.
No. Continue.
I just want to say, like Masha mentioned, they're now interested in how VTuber management works. If you missed it, Mary and the Sakana. They are having a panel during V Expo, the upcoming convention in the UK in August. So yeah, it's gonna be another CEO talk if you're interested in it.
Yeah, I think it's honestly Yeah, I think it's honestly really funny whenever sometimes I would just like hop onto Mary's stream and he's like, "Oh hey Clotho, by the way, I'm having dinner with your CEO in a bit," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" So
oh yeah, he is.
yeah, from what I hear, from what I hear, actually, it feels like a lot of the CEOs are kind of like keeping an eye on each other and sharing like trade secrets among each other, pretty much. You know?
Oh, Mary can confirm.
Yeah, can you confirm, Mary? Because I feel like that's the impression that I get. Because for some reason, I feel like CEOs seem to like always know each other.
Wow, Mary, do you have that like a secret network of CEOs?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're not invited to the secret meetings. You're not playing pokers with us CEOs. Oh no, wait, you're not in that server and like play Valorant with them?
Yeah, I thought all
Mary,
the CEOs played Valorant or League of Legends with each other.
Yeah, you're missing out for like
Yeah.
not playing League, Mary, at this point. I think League training and the Valorant training is just like, it's something that we need to put on your agenda. I'll put it on your to-do list, Mary.
Yeah, I'll play Helldivers with Sakana, Harry, and Yago even.
Is that why you start playing Helldivers? Is that like the recent trendy game among like a girl? Oh man, Mary, how could they?
That sucks. They reached max team capacity and they can't invite Mary. That's always horrible when it happens.
It's on them for like choosing Overwatch, like such an old game, you know? Like, it's like too much a boomer of them.
Yeah. Man, for sure though, what do you call it? Man, what was I gonna say?
Mary's distracting, I know, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I guess I started to get that impression when I saw someone in my when we first debuted AniLive. I saw someone log into my chat because it shows kind of like all the users that start to tune in on my chat when they arrive. And there's literally one guy named Panigo X. And I'm like, is this real?
Are you being hacked?
am I being watched by Yago? And then I noticed that Yago was following NEXAS' account. And I'm like, do all the CEOs just know each other? So it's like it's kind of like I guess I look like that one meme of that conspiracy theory guy with like a lot of strings attaching to each other, and I'm like, do CEOs just kind of like talk to each other or something? Like, do they just play Valorant together? You know, that kind of vibe.
Wow. I guess we can only speculate.
Yeah, I guess we
but
can only speculate.
It does make sense, like if Yago does like at least like it's like a stay updated on like the news, the industry news type of thing. I would believe that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that they do as a CEO to be updated on what's going on in the field.
Yeah, especially if you know, like I guess we could say that NEXAS kind of entered with a little bit of a splash, maybe a tiny bit of a controversy, and you know, whispers of a lot of things going on. But hey, you know, I guess that did make us interesting enough that a lot of people started keeping an eye on us.
Yeah, I would say like even like without a little splash, NEXAS as an idea. It's like the idea of like the academy and basically making VTubing more accessible to a lot of people, to more people. It's a very I have seen similar movement in other fields towards that kind of making a new technology more accessible and democratic.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe like from a technological perspective, or maybe business perspective, it is something that can catch the attention of other like CEOs or maybe investors.
Oh yeah. Because that's definitely, because I think I mentioned it earlier. That's why I did join Nexus. Is I thought that it was just like a really great opportunity to be part of something that seems to just want to make a launch pad for people who just want to start VTubing in general. You know. And yeah, and I think it is expressed that, like, although Harry is planning to kind of like make a branch of Nexus that's for kind of like the people who want to take their VTubing stuff to the next level, kind of like more like a traditional agency, I would guess. By the way, don't quote me on anything that I'm saying here. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, because sometimes I do tend to misremember things that have been said. But
guys, take notes.
Yeah,
Clip,
yeah, guys, take notes. It's gonna be gonna be in the test later. Yeah, clip it. No. But
But I remember it was mentioned by Harry during the previous interview that he did with Mary.
Yeah, that he is planning to do like a more of like a focused agency for people who do choose to take that path, and for people he does see as like the ones who can I guess take Nexus to the next level. And I guess even though there is that, he is still advocating for Nexus to be like a place where talents can jump off to become either like part of other bigger corpos out there, to either like go indie route and just have the know-how of like what they've learned within Nexus and their experience in it, you know. And I honestly thought that it was a good opportunity, and it seemed like a nice idea. So that's honestly why I felt kind of on board for it, you know.
Yeah, I think it's very courageous of you to jump onto the opportunity. It's not always easy to jump onto some kind of new opportunity. And it's actually like something that I learned from Mary specifically, to be, I call it like his like CEO trait. And one of the traits would be just this bias for action. He definitely has that bias for action. He would take action very fast. So it's like when other people, the same decision, when other people are still like trying to like list the pros and cons, Murray has already jumped on it, and probably like maybe he even like fell 3 times and find like a better solution type of situation.
Yeah.
I would say it is a very it's a skill. It's a good skill to have, because oftentimes we just like kind of like get stopped by our own mind and thoughts, and that like bias for action and always take action is just it is very useful. It's a very useful trait to have, I would say. So it is very courageous of you to do that. And
and I guess I'm really grateful that I did start to because back then I would be way too terrified to even like try and connect with others who I would see as I'm not really worthy of the attention for, you know that kind of feeling, that whole imposter syndrome thing. Yeah, and
like I'm researching that just like before this. I feel like it's almost like I shouldn't say imposter syndrome. Like what can I impose? I mean, like, but it really is a thing. It really is a thing. That feeling.
Yeah, because yeah, because honestly, if I it took a lot of courage to even ask you to come over, you know, because I was like, man, am I good enough to actually like invite someone, invite someone like
gosh,
Aoife
shut
over,
up.
you know?
No, shut up. You shut up.
Yeah, but thing is, it is kind of understandable, right? That kind of it's like how far can I how far can I ask, you know?
I would say I actually had the same like thought process when you talked to me. My instinct, like every cell in my body was like yelling, no. When you first, I typed that answer. Like I was like typing a very polite like a refusal. But it's not so much that I don't want to be here. It's more so I feel like because I've never been streamed, English is not my first language, and I've never really spoken in stream. And I've never streamed before. I feel, what if like I messed up? And I did have a sort of traumatizing experience when it comes to public speaking when I was younger. And so I was a little bit afraid that I would like froze or like just like a freeze in stream or something. So I wanted to say no because I was afraid that I would kind of like mess up your stream, and it's like and maybe like I cannot really provide any useful information or being entertaining or even just like understandable. I definitely had that fear. So my instinctly was definitely like to say no, like for the sake of your stream, Clotho, no.
Honestly, you've been doing amazing. Like, if you've never told me that this was your first time streaming, I would think that you've been doing this for a while, because you can definitely hold the conversation, you know? You have a lot of very unique ideas and perspectives that you are willing to share with me and the chat. And I really feel like you would be a natural as a streamer. Like, I wouldn't have known this is your first time streaming if you never if you never told me.
I think you're just like a very nice host, and I do feel very comfortable talking to you. And I think like we were chatting a little bit before stream, and you let me know it. Like maybe like there was like it's a little bit nervous in the beginning, but like after a while you'll be fine. I think I experienced that.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, when I was tweeting that I was head empty, I literally was head empty. I was panicking for real.
Oh my God.
Like, you know.
Can I tell chat kind of like the conversation we had before we went live?
Yeah.
Okay. So Aoife was asking me, saying that, so Clotho, I feel really nervous right now. How do you kind of overcome that as a streamer? And I'm like, you know what? I'm always really nervous for any of my streams. But once I turn on the live, once I press go live and start talking and just start doing the stream, the nervousness just goes away and it just starts to feel more natural. And that's basically what I said, because that's literally like the only piece of advice I can really say when it comes to that.
It is true. Like it's gonna be experience that I won't forget now, because this is the first time I was in the stream. Just like when you were already talking to chat and I can hear you talking to them, and I know like it's not my turn yet, but I need to start speaking at any point. That was so nerve-wracking. I was so nervous at that point. That was like the peak. I really wanted to run away,
Yeah, it's like it's definitely like your very first time public speaking when you're being introduced to the stage. It's like, oh, up next we're gonna have Clotho, and then you're like walking onto the stage and everything is quiet around you, and everyone is just waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, and then you feel like, I prepared something, I remember, but like why that thing I prepared feels so distant now? Like I don't remember.
Yeah, that's honestly what I like about this tea time stream, is that we might prepare a few talking points here and there, but a lot of times we just get into this like really nice conversation, and we just start to basically just start to share, just start to share our experiences, start to share like whatever we have,
Yeah, I really appreciate you invite me over. It's such like a learning experience for me. And it's fun.
I guess before we start to wrap things up, because I don't want to keep you here for too long, since I know that you have a very, very busy schedule ahead of you. I kind of want to ask, do you have any plans of starting? I know that you have plans of starting to stream, but like plans of making it kind of like a mainstay in your day-to-day, just like just becoming a streamer.
I would say probably not, as because being a streamer, it would take a lot of it takes time and effort to plan. And well, although I said I wanted to start streaming, like say like horror games, because I enjoy horror games, but I kind of don't want to play it by myself because I do get scared, and I will just say quit game very easily.
Yeah.
So I do wanna, if I were to stream, I would definitely want to stream some horror games, and maybe like just like a work with me type of just like keep me or keep chat accompanied is another idea I have. But it's not a plan, you know. I feel like if I were to take streaming more seriously, yes, Mary, I would definitely prefer to approach it in a more strategic way. I don't want to I don't want to waste my time, and I also don't want to waste my audience time. To just like do it too casually. I don't think it's responsible, right? But and also just like an AstraLine job, but definitely takes a lot of my time. And yeah, and like for Mary, you just sort of like need to be like on call like 24/7, and that's also part of the reason why I cannot really do it.
Oh yeah, because you might be discussing some very personal business stuff, you know, that can't really appear on stream, and it would be kind of awkward if you know, if you were in the middle of streaming and suddenly you get a business call, I bet.
Yeah, it's fine. I feel like well, if I were to do it, there is definitely like a way to kind of like establish your boundary and then keep like a consistent time schedule to do that. But at the moment, my priority is there is still a lot of things I can do for AstraLine, and I need to do for AstraLine. So AstraLine will be my priority at the moment, and also just like beyond the AstraLine, just how to better support, say VTubers, or like content creators in general. I want to explore more on that, and basically be a better manager for the time being. Yeah.
I honestly feel like from what I've heard from this interview, and from kind of like my impression on just being in Mary's streams and seeing you like handle all the problems and troubleshoot, it seems like you're doing a very good job already. But like, it's very I really respect the fact that you know, people who are already really good at their job still saying that yes, I still have a lot of room to improve, you know. I respect that a lot. I really do.
It really is a matter of fact. I would say that's a matter of fact for every job. Like whatever you do, it really just because things are changing. Even like say within like a VTubing thing. Because like example would be like recently I was like listening to a podcast about like communication, and you know, like before, how we sort of have this perception that when you talk to other people, and if you keep like saying things like using like a filler words like yeah, or like for me, I notice I say actually a lot. I say actually a lot.
I say
actually
that a lot
and
as well.
Yeah. So like I think like previously the wisdom was to kind of avoid and cut the filler words as much as possible to make yourself sound more put together and professional and polished, confident, and all of that. But now stop using actually.
Actually. Also, Mary, I'm not trying to seduce Aoife. I don't really think I'm that seductive, am I?
Mary, I'm literally hugging you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, look. Aoife's hugging you right now. Aoife's keeping you close, and I'm keeping a respectful distance between me and my esteemed guest over here.
I'm keeping Mary choked.
I mean, hey, if you worded like that, Aoife, oh no.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, like, but apparently there is like a new research on that. If you use filler words, say like and then you add like a pause in your conversation, people actually register what you say better than you just remove the filler words and keep everything smoothly.
Really?
So if I'm like talking about something and then I kind of like or like put a pause there, it's sort of like achieve the same effect in some circumstances. It's easier for the listener to register what you say afterwards. So you see, like, things are always changing.
Yeah, because I distinctly remember back then, people would see. I'm saying people would try to tell people to in order to sound more professionals, you need to try to cut those out. But yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah, so I think it's the same in VTubing because it's constantly evolving. There's always something new. Like before, like we say, like clips, a lot of things like the wisdom is like maybe contextualized. It depends on the time. It might change afterwards. So we kind of need to keep ourselves like updated on those. And also another reason would be, I feel for any field to keep growing at some point, it needs to get into contact with something outside of it to expand. May it be like a new technology or kind of like a new opportunity or like another field that kind of have like a crossover with it.
Yeah.
I think that's like how any field kind of grow, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's important to just like overall stay updated on what's new out there, just to keep learning.
I mean, I guess even look at VTubers in general, right? Like back then, VTubers were extremely niche, and people are like, "Oh, it's just it's just an anime girl or an anime boy moving on the screen and talking. Why don't you just stream normally?" But like now, it's like blown up into this worldwide phenomenon. Yeah, they're getting like ad deals from big brands. They're getting collabs with like sports teams now. It's going more and more mainstream. It's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah. Sponsorship, it just, you see, like I feel like a lot of things, it's in the process of development, and in some sense, we're all making history.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, there's definitely
stream,
like
right?
this is definitely like gonna be a big part of history for sure.
So like the branded deals and sponsorships is like another like area I kind of want to spend more time on, because like I say, so far the majority of VTuber sponsorships are still like a game related, like a game sponsorship. But like you said, there are more like say sports teams or food and other type of brands. I think it's just like a natural that gradually the VTuber sponsorships will not be limited to games.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of interesting possibilities to explore as for like what kind of crossover that you can do. Yeah.
Kind of like Merryweather's new PC case from
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
In case
right,
you
Mary?
did not know.
Yeah. In case you did not know, Merryweather has a PC case that you're able to buy from where, Aoife?
It's Ironside.
From Ironside.
ironsidecomputers.com/Merryweather.
ironsidecomputers.com/Merryweather. There you go.
Not sponsored at all.
Yeah, not sponsored at all. Yeah, buy Merryweather's PC. It honestly looks really cool. If I didn't just upgrade my PC literally like a year and a half ago, I'd honestly be so tempted to buy that PC case.
Yeah, you can just get a case, like Koto, just get a case.
That's true. If all my parts fit inside that case, I might actually get it because it does look really cool.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love it when I say it's cloth-in time as well. Yeah.
Clothing time.
I just
I
cloth
noticed
all
you
over
have
the
a lot of
place.
things. Yeah, you also have your own like word for good morning, right?
Yeah, klo hello,
Hello. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so cute. Do you have like a goodbye word?
Oh yeah, I say otsu klo.
Oh my god, so adorable.
Yeah.
Mary, I don't think you have those. We need to work on those too.
I mean, I think Mary just says like a hi dog army, right? Something like that.
Oh,
Or like
it is
he just goes
I
wolf.
remember. Yeah, he just goes wolf. It's interesting because I remember when I first like watched your clips, Clotho's clips. I kind of like see a little Mary in you.
Really?
Like the cadence. Yeah. The way you speak. I did. I saw some like similar cadence.
Otsu Weather
Otsu.
Media Singapore Private Limited.
Private Limited. Oh, that's what PD. Oh, I never know what it stands for. It actually stands for Private Limited.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is the it's the official name.
Oh, that's really funny. Maybe you could use that as one of your goodbye greetings for one of your streams, Mary.
Yeah, just insert my company name, insert my full company name.
Exactly. Plus insert the link to your Ironside PC sponsorship as well.
We are cooking here.
Yeah.
We're so cooking here.
Yeah. Otsu IronsidePC.com/Merryweather. Man, I'm really surprised though that you would that you say that you could kind of see like a little bit of Merryweather. Like I feel like that's such a big compliment to me, you know? Like, yeah, call me a fanboy or anything, but like, you know, I look up to him a lot. I look up to him quite a bit. I know he keeps on saying that, you know, I'm just some guy, but like, you know, I do look up to him.
I think someone in chat also mentioned it. I would say like you also have a very supporting community, which is super lovely.
Yeah, I love the Melodites. They're honestly like they're such a good support group to me, honestly. Yeah, and if you know, if there ever comes a time that there does become like a, you know, like a Clotho fan server out there, as much as I want to just keep out of that fan server to make sure that the fans can kind of like discuss everything on their own without feeling like I'm constantly being watched, you know, I would love to join it because honestly they're just so supportive.
Does Nexus have like an official like community server that has like a dedicated channel for each talent?
I don't think so, not at the moment. I think there has been some like some murmurs of like maybe considering it, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to be a thing.
But are you allowed to make your own community server?
I feel like right now it's kind of like a bit undecided. It's kind of being considered kind of like the pros and cons of having your own fan server where you're present in there. But it is encouraged for people that if they wanted to make like a Nexus fan server or a fan server for each of the talents, they can make one, you know? They are allowed to make.
Chat.
This is your signal, chat.
Wink, 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 wink,
wink, wink. Because I feel like that would be the best way to kind of like grow your community, right?
I would say it is actually a very important component in the beginning for sure. But I can also see like why from a company perspective they want to keep you kind of like safe, and just like keep a certain like a healthy distance between you and the community. I can see it like from both sides. So Melodites, make that fan server.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you can't make that Clotho fan server, Melodites. If you do want to make a community where you can all gather to talk about how silly or degen I am behind my back, then that's completely fine with me.
Yeah, and I definitely don't know like Clotho's like alternative count on Discord, and if he's ever there, I would definitely not to let you know. Just saying.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no idea at all. What is ouch? I don't know. Yeah, he would not lurk. He would just like keep it like to you, you know, like he would definitely not peek or whatever. Yeah. He's not curious at all, you know, just like do it your way.
I mean, I guess this kind of like answers what I wanted to make as kind of like my last question to you was that like I was really curious to kind of like see, because I know that you have been kind of like peeking at some of the clips that I make, or like even like some of the streams maybe, but like I wanted to ask, like, do you have any impression of how I'm kind of doing so far when it comes to my growth as a VTuber?
Oh my god, why are you asking me a hard question? No, my impression of Clotho is a very hardworking VTuber. Just like I watched your debut stream, and I read through all your tweets actually last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
I did.
I'm so sorry for some things you might have seen.
It's well, I think like there may be like more things that we can talk about like in private, just like more like a technical stuff. But I definitely think you are a very hardworking YouTuber, and you are very natural when it comes to streaming, or like you had that experience in you, and you're a really good host tonight, and you made me very comfortable just like talking about all the things. And I know I can get really talkative. And when you don't stop me, I will just like keep talking, which is not very nice. I try to be more self-conscious, but it's just like so hard for me to stop. I just cannot shut up. But you are really directing the conversation really well, and it's a really nice flow. I just feel very happy to be here. And you have a very nice voice. You have a very nice voice, and you have a very powerful singing voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
Your debut karaoke, and also like the songs you did, I saw like for one thing I was curious though, you had the unarchived karaoke, and then you posted like a clips. Well, I mean, it is nice for people to clip your karaoke, but it was supposed to be unarchived.
Honestly, I just unarchive it because it basically gets instantly bonked by YouTube as soon as the stream ends. But you know, if people do want to clip it, I honestly don't mind, because that kind of takes the responsibility off of me. You know, it's not in my hands if it gets bonked by YouTube or Twitter or anything, you know? Kind of like do it at your own risk kind of thing. As long as you don't put the liability on me, you know?
Well, wow. Man, can you believe it? This is your Oshi.
I know, right? Look at your Oshi, rejecting responsibility.
But yeah, I really enjoy listening to your karaoke's. And circling back to you, like being a good host, it really impressed me when I was watching your debut stream, because like unlike on YouTube or Twitch, you could like show the slides with all the informations. So you can sort of just like go by the slides.
Yeah.
You basically still like went through all the information, but without a slide. So you were actually guiding the chat at the time. That was really impressive. And you were not really nervous. You didn't really sound nervous at all during your debut, and you were very comfortably commenting it. I think that really speaks to your skill as a streamer.
Yeah, when it comes to those slides, honestly, it's a skill I learned at school, because I loved doing class presentations at school. You know, like I guess I believe
it.
Yeah, I'm
Is
a little
it
bit.
Real? There are people who love doing class presentations.
I know I'm a little bit of an anomaly when it comes to that, but I love doing those class presentations. And one thing I observed is that when people just have walls of text on their presentation and they're just reading off of it, I instantly tune out. Like I instantly go, okay, I want to fall asleep. So I'm like, if you just put the bullet points there, and then you just basically enough so that they know what you're talking about when you point to that, and just direct the conversation to kind of like, you know, to talk about what bullet point there is. Not only will you sound a lot more knowledgeable about what you're talking about, but you can also engage them a lot better, because they need to listen to what you're saying in order to get the information. Instead of you just reading every single one word for word, you know, like a huge wall of text. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is not like an easy skill to have, especially when you are like also like reading the chats and they're like doing the gifts. So I would say you're a good streamer. You're a very good streamer, and you're a powerful singer, and you really work hard to put out tweets, and just like keep the chat entertained. And also like interact with the fan artists. It's like you're hitting all the points, to be honest.
That honestly means so much coming from you as well, you know, because you're basically managing some of my favorite content creators out there. Yeah, because as I said back then, AstraLine seems like Mary just assembled like the Avengers of like all of my comfort content creators. So yeah, it definitely means a lot to me that and it's honestly it motivates me, you know? It motivates me to want to learn more and to want to create more. For sure.
Yeah, and it seems like you are also, well, despite you need to go to your job, you're also keeping a very healthy schedule for yourself, and you even like squeeze in the workout.
Yeah.
I would say you're very like a disciplined person, so I can definitely see you go very far on this journey.
Thank you. I'll do my best. I'll do my best to make all of my Melodites proud and to make everyone who's watching me right now proud. I'll definitely do my best in my growth as a VTuber.
Yeah. Go Cloth, go. Go Cloth, go.
So yeah, would you like to say some final words for chat before we wrap everything up?
Well, I was taught it is important to put out some like a last message when it comes to situation like this. But I really need to take a no, I just I don't know, I overall enjoy this conversation a lot. And it's I'm really glad that it was you that invited me to have this like a first experience on stream. It was such a nice conversation that we had. And I hope everyone in chat had a good time. And please support Clotho. And he's very close to the 1,000 follower. Well, he will be releasing a voice pack. So please just follow him on Twitter and everywhere. Click that like a follow button and subscribe to him on YouTube. And just like go to, I think his Twitter is like linked on both Twitch and YouTube.
Yes.
Click that link and follow him there so you can get that voice pack as soon as possible. So where will the voice pack be released? Is it on NEXAS own website? Or
No, I will be releasing it on a Google Drive link on my Twitter.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
man.
It's gonna be free
guys,
for everyone to access.
Yeah, it's free, guys. Can you believe it?
Wow,
Free
for free?
content from a VTuber for free. And I think it has like a 4 tracks or something.
Yeah,
right?
4
like
tracks.
A ringtone.
Yeah, a good morning,
man.
an alarm, you know? I'll sing a lullaby and read you a bedtime story.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for shilling my thanks for giving me that.
I want to listen to it. I definitely want to listen to it, and I can't wait for you to have your own cover song and original song released very soon too.
Thank you so much. But yeah, so I guess we should probably wrap it up today. This has been Clotho V Melodium and Aoife from AstraLineTV. Thanks to you for coming today, and I hope that you all enjoyed. And I'll see you next week on TeaTime, where I will be announcing our next special guest once I release my schedule. So please follow me on Twitter in order to find out. So Aoife, would you like to join me in saying Otsuklo in 3, 2, 1? Aoife?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Otsuklo!
Otsuklo!
Bye-bye,
Thank
everyone!
you so much, everyone, for being here. Have a good night, day.
Bye-bye!
Bye! Thank you so much for having me. To be honest, near the end, I was so on the verge. To say, guys, I need to have a pee break. That's what I feel. No, please, I need to hold it like on so many levels. No, but that's part of the experience. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the talk. It was so much fun. Oh my god, can we? For real? Wow.
I forgot to separate the chat and the gaming channel. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to switch you to the chat channel. I'm so sorry, Aoife.
It's okay. You let me say what I want to say.
Okay.
I was actually kind of feel awkward to keep that thing like hanging there. So now you get the full joke, guys.
Oh.
But yeah, I need to go so badly, guys.
Okay, I'm so sorry,
much for
Aoife.
being
But
here.
yeah, feel free to talk to me at any time, okay? Alright, bye, Aoife.
Bye.
Yeah, who do we raid, guys? That was a little awkward. I'm so sorry. I don't have anyone who I'm following that's online right now. So please suggest a channel for me to raid, Melodites. Yeah. Couldn't have a first stream without any scuff, I guess. Man. I'm sorry, Mary, if you're still watching. Do you guys have any suggestions on who I might raid? Because literally no one's online right now. No one's streaming. Oh, Beeb? Okay. Raid Beeb. Alright, I got it. Slash raid Beeb. Alright. Melodite raid. Melodite raid, let's get ready. Alright, thank you guys. See ya.